Today we are looking at a groovy pattern on this D Celtic or D Amara. This is a Koru handpan. It's got a very pretty finish to it. And the groove looks like this. Let's dive right in. So first of all, we have our ding strike, and then straight after that, on the end of the one, we're coming down here to play note 1 and 3, which is the two notes of our D minor chord. So we've got 1 and, like so, 1 and. Straight after that, with the right hand, we're slapping here on the edge of the instrument, as far away from the notes as possible, so that we're not ringing too much. So now we've got 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And I'm playing these two notes with my thumbs here just for ease, for that rotation, and then I'm rotating the wrist of the right hand to get that slap. So from here, rotate, slap down. That way I don't have to move up and down all of the time. Back for that ding. So ding, chord, slap, ding. One and two and. 1 and 2 and. And then on the 3, back to the chord. 1 and 2 and 3. So ding, chord, slap, ding, chord. Ding, chord, slap, ding, chord. So right after the slap, we're moving up to play the ding, and then coming back to this chord again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Nice. And that end part of the pattern that we're leaving blank there, we're going to leave that blank for now, and later on we'll fill that however we want to. So the second part of this groove then is exactly the same thing. The only difference is, instead of playing here with these two chords, we're moving the hands over, so the right hand is now on note 1, and the left hand is on note 2. Here. It's exactly the same. But I'm playing my slap over here, just for the sake of ease. So I could move over to the other side, but I'm lazy. I want to play for as long as possible. I want to keep my energy. So I'm just playing it here, where I already am. So we've got ding, chord, slap, ding, chord. And again, ding, chord, slap, ding, chord. And again, ding, chord, slap, ding, chord. And again. If you wanted to still get this same tight sound that you get on the edge of the instrument, you could play that slap with the left hand over here. That way you're practicing actually both sides of the slap. So maybe that's a good idea. I like that. I'm going to do that. And again. And again. Time. Nice. So now we can move between these two chords like so. And then we we switch. And then 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 we switch. Nice. So keep practicing that if you don't have it already. Once you've got it, we'll then start to add some bits and bobs in the in-between. And by that I mean, we've only made it to beat 3, and then the rest of this little bar of rhythm is completely empty. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you have that and 4 and to do anything you like. What I like to do is either move up the scale or down the scale. Just choose a starting point. I can do it here. I could do it here. I could do it here. Or I could move up, right? Just choose a note to start from and then move in a direction. That's the simplest way to start improvising. You don't have to think, I want it to sound like this, I want to play this note and that note. No, handpans are built to be beautiful whatever happens. So in the beginning, you just choose a starting point and go somewhere. That's all it is. One tip for choosing a starting point though is in the beginning I like to choose a note that I am not already playing in my chord, so a note higher up than where I'm playing at the moment. So at the moment I'm playing with these 3 notes. If I start anywhere higher up, then I know I'm not going to have any risk of clashing or anything like that. So anything that I play I know will be beautiful. So let's play that pattern again, and this time at the end of the pattern we'll experiment with putting some extra bits in the in-between. I'll do it a few times around and then I'll leave it empty so you can do it on your own. Ready? Here we go. Oh. Another way that we can make that even more interesting still is to add some e's and uhs, right? So at the moment the rhythm is kind of the same all the way through, but we can break that up. So we could do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 e and a 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 e and a 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 e and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 e and a 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 e and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 e and a 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 e and a 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 e and so I'm filling in even more of that space. In all of our rhythms, at the moment we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but we could also acknowledge the space in between those strikes. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Whatever we're playing, even if we're not playing those in-betweens, those E's and U's, they still exist. And so every now and then, when we want to make the rhythm a bit more interesting, we can pull those in as we choose. And we can, of course, either take notes away as well, or only add, we don't have to add all the E's and U's, we can add a few here and there, as you heard me doing in that demonstration as well. So maybe sometimes you want to play and, for, and sometimes we want to play and, for, E, and, or and, for, and for, E, and, for, and for, and for, E, and for, E, and E. You know, we can add them in lots of different places. So I'll just give you a quick demo on what that looks like, and then I will leave you to practice on your own. Ready? Here we go. Still just choosing a direction. Filling in the gaps differently. And there you have it. And of course, if you wanted to start making it more interesting still, you can make jumps rather than just choosing a direction. You can go one way and then the other. You can kind of play around with those directions, or you can start to be a bit more intentional with choosing specific melodies. And again, it doesn't have to be anything hugely scientific or hugely creative. You can literally just pick random notes and see what it sounds like. That's kind of all it is. It's not scary, I promise. So I hope you enjoy, and yeah, I would love to hear your versions. If you want to tag me on Instagram with your variations on these patterns, please do. I'm over there as Amy Naylor Smiles. Otherwise, I will see you in another video sometime soon. Yeah, thank you so much for watching.